My name is Oliver Puff, Inspector Oliver Puff, and today I'm going to tell you a very interesting real-life story.
November 24th, 1971. A man boards a plane in Portland, Oregon. He pays cash for his ticket. He orders a bourbon and soda. And then he hands a flight attendant a note. That note changes everything. By the time that plane lands in Seattle, this man has $200,000 in cash. By midnight, he is gone. And more than 50 years later, nobody knows who he was. Nobody knows where he went. Nobody knows if he survived. This is the story of D.B. Cooper, the only unsolved skyjacking in American history. The day before Thanksgiving, one of the busiest travel days of the year, Northwest Orient Airlines, Flight 305, Portland to Seattle, a short hop, just 30 minutes in the air. A man checks in under the name Dan Cooper. He's described as somewhere in his mid-40s, dark suit, black tie, white shirt, sunglasses. He looks like a businessman, unremarkable, forgettable. That was probably the point. Shortly after takeoff, he calls over a flight attendant, Florence Schaffner. He passes her a folded note. Florence assumes it's a phone number, a man trying to flirt at 10,000 feet. She tucks it in her pocket without reading it. And then Cooper leans in and says quietly, "Miss, you'd better look at that note." Florence reads it. The note says he has a bomb in his briefcase. He wants $200,000 in cash, unmarked $20 bills. He wants 4 parachutes, 2 primary, 2 reserve. He wants a fuel truck ready in Seattle, and he wants to fly to Mexico City. The plane radios ahead. The FBI is notified. Airline executives scramble. And crucially, they decide to cooperate. The plane circles Seattle for 2 hours while the ransom is gathered. $200,000 in $20 bills. The serial numbers photographed, every single one. 4 parachutes are loaded. The plane lands. The 36 passengers and 2 flight attendants are released. Cooper gets his money, gets his parachutes, and then he tells the crew to take off again. The plane takes off at 7:40 p.m., destination Reno, Nevada. Cooper has specific instructions: fly low, no higher than 10,000 feet, gear down, flaps at 15 degrees. The plane is slow, lumbering through the sky, the way Cooper wanted it. Somewhere over the dark forests of Washington state, the rear staircase of the Boeing 727 opens. This aircraft has a unique feature. The stairs at the back can be lowered mid-flight. Cooper knows this, which tells you something. At 8:13 p.m., the crew feels a pressure shift at the back of the plane. Cooper is gone. Outside, darkness, rain, near freezing temperatures, winds gusting at 170 miles per hour. Below, the Cascade Mountains, miles of dense wilderness, no roads, no lights, nothing. Fighter jets scramble. They try to follow, but they're flying faster than the 727. They overshoot. They see nothing. Cooper has simply disappeared into the night. The FBI launches one of the largest manhunts in American history. Soldiers comb through the Cascade Mountains. Aircraft sweep the wilderness for weeks. Nothing. The investigation would last 45 years. The FBI officially worked the case until 2016. Over 1,000 suspects were investigated and eliminated, one by one. There were a few strange details that investigators couldn't explain. Cooper was given 4 parachutes, 2 real ones, 2 training chutes, non-functional, only used for practice. He jumped with one of the training chutes. Either he didn't check, or he didn't care. Some people think this means he had no intention of using it to survive. Others think it means he was overconfident, experienced, reckless. And then in 1980, a crack in the case. A boy named Brian Ingram is on a camping trip with his family near the Columbia River. He digs in the sand near the riverbank and pulls out 3 rotting bundles of cash. $5,800 in $20 bills. The serial numbers matched the Cooper ransom. This was the only physical evidence ever recovered. But it raised more questions than it answered. How did the money get there? Was it washed downstream? Did Cooper drop it during the jump? Did someone plant it? Was it a clue or just bad luck? No one knows. Over the decades, a parade of suspects emerged. Richard Floyd McCoy, a Vietnam veteran and skilled parachutist. Just 5 months after the Cooper hijacking, McCoy pulled off an almost identical crime. Same demands, same method. He was caught, convicted, and later killed in a prison break. Many believed he was Cooper. The FBI disagreed. Witnesses said the 2 men looked nothing alike. Robert Rackstraw, a former Army paratrooper with a criminal record spanning multiple states. He was investigated, cleared, then re-investigated for decades. A private team claimed to find coded messages in Cooper's note pointing to Rackstraw. The FBI remained unconvinced. Rackstraw died in 2019, still denying everything. Marla Cooper, a woman who came forward in 2011 saying her uncle, L.D. Cooper, was the hijacker. She described childhood memories of him returning home after Thanksgiving 1971, bloody, injured, whispering about a plane. DNA testing was inconclusive. The FBI investigated and moved on. There have been dozens of others: school teachers, truckers, ex-cons, even a woman. Some researchers argued Cooper was female. All of them investigated, none of them confirmed. Here is the question everyone asks: could he have survived? The conditions that night were brutal. Temperature below freezing, heavy rain, visibility near zero, winds howling through mountain terrain. He jumped wearing only a business suit, loafers, no gloves, no helmet. He had $200,000 strapped to his body, adding weight and bulk. And he may have been using a non-functional parachute. Most experts believe he died. Some FBI analysts estimated survival probability less than 10%. The Pacific Northwest swallowed him whole. Dense forest, deep ravines, rivers fed by snowmelt. A body could go unfound for decades. Forever. But here's what keeps people wondering. No body was ever found. No parachute, no clothing, no bones. And a man clever enough to plan this heist in such meticulous detail might also have been clever enough to survive it.
Some researchers believe he landed somewhere north of the Columbia River, walked out of the forest, blended back into ordinary life, spent the money slowly, quietly, told no one, and died in a bed somewhere, in some quiet house, with the greatest secret in American criminal history. D.B. Cooper became something America rarely creates anymore, a mystery without an answer. He inspired films, novels, TV shows. He's been referenced in everything from crime thrillers to sitcoms. Every year, enthusiasts gather in the small town of Ariel, Washington, near where he's believed to have jumped, for a D.B. Cooper celebration. People dress up, they debate theories, they search the woods. There's something in the story that people can't let go of. A regular-looking man, a briefcase, a note, and then gone. No violence, no victims, just audacity. In the American imagination, that makes him almost romantic, a ghost, a folk hero, a man who, for one night, made the impossible look easy. The FBI closed active investigation in 2016. The case remains officially open. If D.B. Cooper is still alive, he's in his 90s now, somewhere, possibly watching videos just like this one. If he died in those mountains, he took the truth with him. Either way, the sky over Washington state that November night swallowed a man whole and never gave him back. Subscribe and like. See you, my friend.